Hey, welcome on back to The Reckoning. Into the final half hour we go, and I'm very glad to get to a very unique topic here that was completely off my radar until this week. So we're bringing on someone who, well, at least the one who brought this to my attention. Molly McCann Sanders, a brand new voice here on The Reckoning, but not to me. This is actually someone I work with very closely now over at the Eagle Forum Education and Legal, the Phyllis Schlafly world. She is the president of Eagle Forum Education and Legal, a 501c3, also of Eagle Action, a 501c4 sister organization, and a very, in my mind, worthy heir of Phyllis Schlafly's legacy of grassroots work, a multi-generation eagle, as we would say, inside our world. Of course, though, a very accomplished appellate lawyer, has clerked for Edith Jones down the Fifth Circuit, and then, of course, been of counsel with some very famous folks for us. Sidney Powell did a lot of work with General Mike Flynn. And then, of course, under her other law group, later litigated multiple cases on behalf of President Donald Trump. So I'm very glad to get her opinion about what in the world is going on with Ford and the nanny state coming to our cars. Molly McCann Sanders, how are you, Molly? Thank you for being with me for a few minutes.
I'm doing well, Ryan. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. I'm glad to do it. And this one, I saw the headline from you when it came out on your Substack, mollymccann.substack.com. If you'd like to go and follow along, I highly encourage you to do that. But this one, it is not just what the Ford Motor Company is doing in a brand new published notice of a pending patent. This has to do with Congress. There is a requirement by law to have tech put into every new car by 2027 that would have constant surveillance on the driver. Am I getting that right? Did Congress pass this and we're all just figuring it out?
It's really extraordinary. They did, and Heritage Foundation was blowing the whistle at the time, and as I noted on another platform, I think fundamentally people were probably just overwhelmed with the 2020 steal and just the assaults that we were getting from the mainstream media and from the Biden administration. And there was just a lot of, honestly, depression within the movement because this passed in 2021, and people just didn't seem to understand what was really happening. As I say, Heritage was trying to blow the whistle, but it was framed as a kill switch. I think they should have called it a surveillance box. I think kill switch probably just sounded too extraordinary to people, and they assumed it was just hyperbole. And it is as scary as it sounds. It's truly extraordinary to see what Congress has approved here.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. I mean, this came at the high time of a lot of chaos inside of politics. I mean, Joe Biden signed it. This is the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. He signed in November of 2021. But it makes me wonder, because we've had so many good things, especially from Lee Zeldin over at the EPA, the rescission of the 2009 greenhouse gas endangerment finding. There's been a lot of stuff going across the world of motor vehicle automakers and different places. Is this something that, as you started digging in and realizing what exactly this means, this 2027 deadline, is there any kind of movement inside of Congress to say, wait a minute, we got to go back and redo this one? There's been some pushback on this, and it's coming up again now that Ford's patent is out there, and people are seeing, wait a minute, lip reading, facial recognition technology in cars? Is there any action to get this undone?
Well, I'm very hopeful that there will be. I'm not sure. It really just exploded in the last 48 hours. A tweet went viral, over 27 million views, really showing sort of concrete visuals of sensors following your every move. And I think they explained the details a little more clearly to people, and it just took off. And so I hope that we do hear something from Congress. And I think it probably will be repealed, but I'm hopeful that it will go even farther, because as certain people have noted, a lot of that technology is already in cars. Our cars are moving computers already, and it just requires a software update for some of this surveillance technology. And so I hope that it's a wake-up call for people to realize that the reason Congress passed this and didn't think it was that extraordinary is the cars are already so advanced that there are systems in there that can listen and do a lot. Maybe I'm not sure about the biometric scanning yet, but they already are moving spy boxes, so to speak. And it's something we should all take very seriously in an increasingly weaponized America. And I hope not only is this repealed, but it gives us an opportunity to ask what technology is actually in cars right now, and do we need it? And does it pose a privacy issue to all of us? And I think the answer is clearly yes. So I hope we go a lot much beyond just repealing this particular requirement and really stripping out some of the surveillance tools that are already in vehicles.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I feel like this has just come up over and over again, especially in the rise the era of the rise of smart appliances. I remember Google got in big trouble. Their Nest, what was it? The Nest smart thermostats, when they went out, someone discovered a microphone in them and they said, oh, that's not turned on. That's just for future features if it's ever needed. Hello, there's a microphone that was manufactured in China in my thermostat in my house. Why was this not more widely told to me? I feel like that happens every so often with technology. People kind of get some kickback. But let me
really does.
Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. No, go ahead.
So I was just going to say, I'm curious about the origins of this, because I know it was originally, there was an original, I think, bill that it was kind of tied to, or at least stems from, the Halt Drunk Driving Act. And of course, there's, it's one thing if you want to say, look, what technology do we put into someone's car if they've been, convicted of a DUI or something? But this isn't that. This is blanket technology requirements across every vehicle. And it's not just Democrats who pushed this through. This had Republican co-sponsors. And you actually brought it down to one in the Senate that kind of surprised me. Did I understand correctly from your piece over on Substack that Senator Rick Scott in Florida was a part of this originally?
Yes, and that astounded me as well, because his rating is generally excellent. And I would love, I haven't had an opportunity to try to reach out to his office, but I would love to have an explanation from his office on why he thought this was a good idea, because it's not hidden. You look at that and you think this is not a good trade-off. We cannot trade, and we know someone whose good friend was killed by a drunk driver yesterday. So there's no doubt it's a tragedy, but we simply cannot trade liberty for safety. The trade-off is not okay.
Yeah, absolutely. In your looking at this, of course, you said Heritage Foundation was, blowing the whistle on this back in 2021, but really didn't get enough to push back significantly on it. Did they have a list of, were there legislators on a list somewhere from Heritage or anyone else who were actively opposing this, or did it just kind of sail through with very little pushback?
It looks like it sailed through with pretty little pushback, but I did notice that Heritage sort of had a list of people who voted for it, and sort of a shame list, and so it was a surprising number. I know Thomas Massey was speaking out against it at the time, and he's jumped up and reminded people that he worked to stop this. But as I say, I do think it was a tough time on the Republican side of the aisle. But I would say every person who voted for that needs to be called on the carpet immediately. It is not subtle. It is clear and outrageous surveillance of free American citizens, and it's just the nanny state in overdrive. And it's kind of appalling that anyone would think it's okay. You do wonder. We all should know that all the spy movies, and if you know anything about our intelligence agencies, you know that they have incredible capabilities. But it's striking to see them come out and say this so openly and be so clear on what they want to do here.
Yeah. And this really is, it reaches a new level of relevance when we're in the middle of a bunch of discussions around AI. Especially in situations like this. Like you said, we've essentially moved our cars into these giant moving computers. So the capability is there to suddenly have some new software installed, some new system, some new set of procedures or rules or mandates that are very technologically possible in just about every new car across America. It begs the question, kind of what the picture is. And I don't mean to put you on the spot and sidestep to a different issue, but boy, we've had so much in the AI world in the last year. I know the one big beautiful bill, there was originally a 10-year moratorium on state regulation of AI. That got stripped out in the Senate version. A lot of states are dealing with issues around data centers. That, of course, is more of an infrastructure, and transparency discussion than it is AI itself. But, man, the government's gone to war with Anthropic. They've been playing nice with Sam Altman and OpenAI. We're having some major consequential generational discussions about the technology of AI, what the possibilities are, and it just kind of makes me wonder, what, in your opinion, where's our broad view of that at the moment? Because I know the Trump world has kind of dipped their toes into the water, but we've got a lot of big companies, Department of War, a lot of state regulations, all these things are intersecting at once. Are you hopeful that we're going to have some sort of decent free market and yet in a controlled way since moving forward a policy on AI in America across the states? Or are we just at a point of chaos where no one knows what's going on and we got a lot of bad things that could happen to us very quickly?
I hate to be a downer. I'm very concerned about AI and where it's going. I think it's sort of the Wild West. And when you see how much trouble we've gotten into before AI with surveillance and our government out of control, it doesn't feel super hopeful. I do think it's important, though, for people to remember, that AI is a machine, and we are masters of the machine. And so it is our we have the ability to say, this is what AI is going to do, and this is what it's not going to do. This is the part of society in which we will permit it to operate, and we will not permit it to operate in this part. And AI can never be a thinking person. I know you are a believer. I believe in God, and it cannot generate the way that the human intellect can generate. It will never be able to do that. And so I do think that the AI hysteria does sort of show a problem with religion in America, that the blurring of the lines on humans with immortal souls made in the image and likeness of God, and then machines that we make that should always be below us and subservient to us. So the AI world, I'm not an expert on AI. It does concern me greatly in every possible area. I recognize it has significant potential, and I just hope that we manage it wisely. But I can't say too much about it because it's a huge beast.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, folks, we're talking with Molly McCann Sanders, president of Eagle Forum Education and Legal, also Eagle Action, the Phyllis Schlafly World, the orbit of grassroots education organizations. And Molly, you're an attorney. Just in my last moment or two here with you, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you. Of course, we had a major landmark decision, a lot of things going on at the Supreme Court. I just realized yesterday, oh my gosh, it's not even May yet, and we've had some major decisions come down. Normally it's the last week of June. We're all waiting with bated breath. What's your take on our landmark Louisiana v. Calais decision? Is it overall good? Does it seem as good as I think and a lot of others seem to think it is? This might just be one giant sledgehammer taken to one of the pillars of power of the Democrat electoral machine, or is there something to watch out for?
Well, I have to tell you, Ryan, you're catching me out a little bit here. I know we chatted yesterday, and I said I would read it in the evening, but we've just had a kind of a crazy time, and I haven't read the opinion yet. I've seen lawyers whom I respect have said that they're very pleased. And so from that, I'm very hopeful that when I finally do sit down and read it, I'm going to be happy. But I wish I could say I have read it, but I have not yet read it. So I try not to just I try not to comment off of just having seen a tweet or two. I like to have actually read the opinion before I give a comment on a Supreme Court case. No,
very sure, and that's why I'm not an attorney, so I sometimes just shoot from the hip because I don't have a law license I've got to worry about and a reputation. Well, I mean, I guess that we have a reputation, but what are we looking forward to the rest of the season? I know we've got the birthright citizenship case, but are there any highlights for you that we still should be paying attention to from the Supreme Court in our final couple of months here?
For me, I'm a firm believer that we only have so much energy in the movement, and we've got to keep focused on our top priorities. So the only priority I have right now, frankly, is the birthright citizenship case. And I'll just warn people, I'm not super optimistic. I think if it comes down the way we want it, it will be a minor miracle. I truly believe that. We have seen minor miracles in the law and in politics in recent years. So I don't give up the faith, but if it comes down the wrong way, as I think it might, everyone's just going to have to pull together and rally together and figure out what our next move is to close the border even more and keep it closed into the future and deport illegals and take our country back, because we simply can't give up. We cannot give up on the shifting demographic and this invasion of foreigners into our country. So I would just say whatever is to come on the birthright citizenship, as I say, just keep your courage and remember we have to keep fighting no matter what the decision is, metaphorically, of course, from the Supreme Court.
Yeah, absolutely. If it comes down the way you're expecting, and I kind of feel the same way, we're certainly going to have a lot of interesting questions from what Congress and the administration will do next or can do next. And I'd love to circle back with you. Where can folks follow your work on X, on Substack? Please let our folks know.
Yeah, I'm on Instagram at Molly McCann Sanders. I'm on X at Molly McCann. And as you noted, Substack, mollymccann.substack.com. I share longer form analysis on all sorts of things, absolutely, political and legal.
Well, Molly McCann Sanders, thank you so much, Molly, for a few minutes of your time, for bringing this issue to our attention and giving us an opinion on a few others. I very much appreciate it, and we'll look forward to speaking again.
Yeah, thank you, Ryan. Have a great day.
You too. Folks, Nanny states in your car, they're coming. The technology is already there, and stuff like this goes by us all the time. We'll be right back. One more segment.
On my back, lone survivor, last